Hey everyone, it's Deanna with Deanna's Paper Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to use your embosser and use the metallic shim and also the embossing mat. And I'm going to show you this new Tim Holtz stamp and die set that I just got, and I'm just really in love with this one. So I've already gone ahead and embossed two of my spiders in the webs, and the reason I've done multiple stampings of them is, as you can tell by the dies, that I can layer them, and so that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn on my heat gun. It's going to make noise, so I'm not going to talk, but what I'm going to do is heat these from underneath until I see the embossing powder start to melt, and then I'll finish them on the top. So here we go. Let's watch to be able to see this start to melt up here. Let's see if you can see that or not. Okay, that's all there is to it. And I don't know if you can tell, these three spider webs I embossed with the black glint while embossing powder, and then this one, the spider, I just used the ebony primary color. So I think they turned out really cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my eBosser set up, and then we'll start die cutting. Okay, so now I've got my eBosser set up, and I'm getting ready to die cut my spider webs. As you can see, I've laid them out where I want them to cut over the embossing, and I've just added a small piece of washi tape to make sure they stay in place while I get it set up to go through the machine. So the first thing I'm going to do is refer to my little chart here, and it says for these thin metal dies I want my A plate, my material, my die cutting, or my die, platform C, B, shim, and platform D. And I've got my my plates set up so you can see here. I have my D, I have my B, and I have my C. And so what I'm going to do now is put on the magnetic embossing mat. And the thing I love about this is it holds my dies in place. They don't move. I turn it upside down and they're stuck to that. So the paper doesn't move, and it just holds them right where I want them to cut. So then I'm going to add my A plate here, which you can see is pretty well worn, and send it through the machine. Something it's not liking, so I think okay, we're going to try this again. I'll put it in. My A plate's kind of warped, and so I think that causes some of my issues, but it still works. So oops, sorry. So now let's push this out of the way for a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and get these popped out, and then I'll come back. Well, actually, before I do that, let me just share with you, if I wanted to emboss these now, what I would do is I would remove this plate, the magnetic one. I would add move those out of the way for a minute. I would add the rubber mat on top of my dies and then send it back through with the A-plate on top. And then it would emboss them. I don't need to emboss these, so I'm not going to do that. But I'll get these popped out and I'll be right back. Okay, and as you can see, I have my spider webs out. And what I'm going to do is just layer these with some foam dots in between and make a card. So I'm going to go and get my card done, and then I'll get a photo added to my blog. Thanks for watching. If you want any of these supplies, you can go to cutterscreek.com and they have the dies as well as the embossing powder. Thanks!